is going to be over soon, and I think one of us is. There's going to be a clear winner, I think, because.
You have a higher likelihood of rolling a higher dice anyway.
Oh, jeez, what the hell was that?
I just said roll, sorry.
Oh, jeez.
You have a higher likelihood of
Gosh,
setting the dice higher.
The cameras are on. You can start talking the podcast whenever you like.
Yeah, exactly. So
and you can throw those dice whenever
yeah,
you're
exactly.
ready.
I did have a doubles.
We're trying to show him mercy now.
Exactly. I did have a doubles recently. 10.
Okay.
Oh, finally 10's racing.
I thought 10 was...
I'm going to laugh if both of you lose again when you've each got a horse in contention.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have 9s right there. I should actually win here. Cree is going to have to pay me when I... Oh, an 8, $1. This is going to be quite the hefty pot. So, Cree...
I feel you should move that coaster right there because it's impeding your roll.
Ah, jeez, for crying cripes.
You need some baby lotion.
I know exactly. I'm gonna be sleeping and my legs just gonna uncontrollably twitch. So we kind of asked you some questions about yourself. Now I kind of want to ask you what maybe other people think of you or could describe you as. So we usually like to ask kind of this. Man, my leg is starting to like. Tingle
Switch legs.
Twitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Switch legs.
People saying the word roll.
Yeah, oh, jeez. For crying out loud. Let's get this damn thing over with. Except I got to wear it an 8 again. I got to wear it the whole time. Doesn't matter.
I don't think that was a rule that was established.
Well, a 6. Oh, man, we have a horse race here.
Neck and
and
neck.
down the stretch they come. What is a funny story? Ah, jeez, for crying out loud.
That was 3.
What would be a funny story? Yeah, ringing the bell. What would be a funny story your family would share about you? There we go. Hey, oh.
Let's see. Probably my mom would probably share the story of me running around naked in the front yard.
Like last year?
No. When I was like 3.
Okay, all right.
Did you roll in the front yard?
Jeez.
No, I was naked, so.
But you didn't roll in the front
Stop
yard.
it. Come on,
No.
Rex.
I was trying to stay off the ground.
Okay.
But then I think when I was probably 3 or 4 or something like that, I emulated my sister a lot, so I put on her tutu.
Okay.
3, maybe. And I also jumped in the swimming pool.
Naked?
No, when I was 3. So my sister was on the swim team, and I think I was 3 years old. She was 5. And I
Okay.
really wanted to be on the swim team, so my mom would tell this. She's got that story. She's got the one-tooth trick story. She's got a
The
bunch
one-tooth what?
I had a big gap when I was a kid.
Okay.
A huge gap. Like, you could stick a pencil through it.
That's a big gap.
Like the tip of a pencil, not the end. Not the eraser.
Okay.
So I used to, like, when I lost this tooth,
Yep.
I would stick my tongue up there and I would cover all these teeth,
Yeah.
and I would cover this tooth, these teeth,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
looked like I have one tooth. So like all of her dinner parties, she loved to be like,
Snaggletooth.
hey, come do the one tooth trick.
Oh, I
And I
like
would go,
this. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
covered the teeth, and it just looked like I had one tooth, like I was a hillbilly.
Yes.
So.
That's pretty funny. What's one character quality people would describe you have?
Persistent.
Okay. I would say that. You know what? I've only known you about 8 months?
Yeah.
6 months? I would say that is a aptly described, if I can say it that way, character quality. I would say you're persistent. And why do you think that? Because you are? Would you say that you are?
I mean, I think as a kid I was really outspoken. So 7, yeah.
Yep.
So when I was a kid, I would want things and I would just work towards getting them. Like my parents would give me money whenever I got good grades.
Yep.
So if I got A minus, I get $3.25. If I got an A, I got $3.50.
Yep.
And if I got an A plus, I got $3.75.
Okay.
So I would work throughout the whole school year. I made straight A's until I hit 11th grade, because every time I made straight A's, I got the most amount of money.
Yeah.
So I would really persist on doing that. And then once I got into business, I realized if you work hard and smart, you make more money.
Sure.
Which then gives you more options to then spend it how you want.
Sure.
When you have more money, you can now decide, like, do I want to give some of it away? Do I want to go spend it on travel? Do I want to go buy this cool thing? Do I want to give it to somebody else that I care about?
Sure.
So it's just like, for me, the harder I work, the more options I get. And it's like, it's evident in what we do for business too. when I go over and I was like, wow, I can't believe that cold calling is so like successful. Like, it's weird when I cold call people.
Really?
It's like, yeah, like I am pitching a landlord, hey, let me give you guaranteed rent, no worries about maintenance, I'll take care of the property, you don't have to pay me a property management fee. And they're like, wow, that sounds really good. I'm like, but I'm not doing this right now. Like, I'm trying to find housing for 7 soldiers.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, you want to use my house? Like, you want to use my apartment?
Okay.
So it's just the more you put in. I think the reason I like sales and business is because the harder and smarter you work, the more options you get. And I think that's the thing that makes me persistent, is just like, I know that I'm going to get what I want.
If you put the requisite work in and...
Well, I just refer people and help people and do good things, it'll come back.
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
Like, here's another example. We have a guest staying in our North Austin house. That guest told me he's coming to buy a house. I bumped into, yesterday at a Lowe's, a friend of mine who is a loan officer. And he's like, I can get really, really, really cheap loan rates. And I'm like, okay. Hey, Mr. Guest, would it be okay if I gave my friend your info and had him call you? I know you're shopping for a house. He might be able to get you a better rate. Yeah, of course. Hey, Matt. This is Krishna. Matt. Matt is a ninja wizard when it comes to loan officer stuff.
Okay.
He shops everybody in the country. He can probably find you a better rate. And he's like, awesome, thank you. Like, that's just me doing my job.
Yeah.
But if I didn't even ask the question and I didn't follow up and I didn't like form those relationships, like, that opportunity wouldn't have existed.
Persistent.
For my client or my friend or me.
Yeah. Persistent. I need to be a little more persistent.
And it's not like when we try and sell somebody something, I tell people only sell them something that serves them.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
If it's like, hey, this probably isn't going to be a good fit for you, just tell them that.
Oh, yeah.
But persist on all the things that are a good fit.
Sure.
And you'll get more deals.
On anything, yes, whatever business you're doing, yes.
Yep.
Don't BS people. We've had this conversation multiple times on here, haven't we, Rex? Most people, just don't BS people. Most people can read BS. Most people can.
Yeah.
And then that's the problem. If you do BS someone too much and they get it, then they don't do anything. They don't trust you. So you have to work so much harder to gain that trust because and that's maybe some of their problem too, because they're prone to believing BS.
Well,
I mean, any of us sometimes can be, sold more than, we're all, because a lot of selling and buying is emotional. Actually, most of it's emotional.
I had a good GM when I was working at the motorcycle shop. It was like, people will come in and buy what they want.
Sure.
Your job is to help them rationalize it.
Yeah.
When
there
they
you
go home,
go.
because we worked at a motorcycle shop, so 95% of the guys were guys.
Yeah.
And like 5% were women. And it's
Sure.
not like a stereotype thing, it's just like
Guys
would walk in the door with no credit and you have to sell them a bike.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah, okay.
They're coming in because they want the bike.
Yes.
You have to help them rationalize the bike. You have to help them rationalize the payment.
Yeah.
You have to help them rationalize a 27% interest credit card.
Jeez.
So you know what I would do? Why do you want this bike?
Yeah.
Well, I want it because of this. I want this. I want this. All right, how are you going to buy it? I don't know. Like, can you guys help me with that? I can see.
Yeah.
Let's see. But what kind of credit do you have? Well, my credit's bad. Okay, well, we can try it.
You should probably sell a kidney.
No.
You never advised anyone to sell a kidney? They wanted something so bad?
No.
Okay, all right.
That's not in their best interest.
That's true. Well,
so.
and neither is buying the bike at 27%, but yes.
Depends, right? If they have very, very bad credit and this is the only way they can get a bike,
Well, that's true.
It's going to be their daily driver.
Yes.
They're going to make money
if it's for
doing it.
practical reasons, they're actually trying to buy it, but yes.
Logical.
Yeah,
Right?
yes.
If you go back to your wife and you're like, hey, I bought a motorcycle. It's a Harley Street Glide.
Not logical.
Why did you need that bike? Why are you buying an $18,000 bike?
Yeah.
Why don't you buy a $7,000 bike?
Because I want to look like a badass when I'm riding my motorcycle.
Maybe that's what you need for the confidence boost.
That's right.
You know?
I'm clearly compensating for something else, right?
Maybe you just love riding bikes.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Half the time we would get guys that could afford it with cash. Other half you get guys that couldn't afford it even if you got them 0%.
Yeah. Yes. See, that's where I was bad at sales. I like selling stuff to people, but it's hard for me to disconnect from like, this is a bad decision. I really am not going to sleep at night, even though I know I can sell it to you, because I'm going to appeal to the emotional side of you, and you're going to put all logic aside and go, okay, I'm buying this thing, and then you're like, no. Then I that's where I was a bad salesman. Like, I was not good at. I felt awful, and that's why.
Here's where you failed, right? Sell something people need and they want. If you're not selling the best thing, you're probably selling the wrong thing.
Sure.
Right? If you're selling people 27% interest rate on their home loan, that's not a good thing.
No.
Right? But if you're like, hey, I'm going to work really hard to get you a really, really low interest rate, the best possible that we can afford you, and you get them into a 5.5% interest rate on a 30-year amortization, that means they're going to get a house.
Yeah. Yes.
That's a necessity. That's not a need. That's not a want. That's a need.
Yes.
You know? Oh, roll.
Jeez,
Sorry.
That's not what that means. That's not.
Sorry. 7.
7 again. Now we're paying the piper.
50
50 cents. Do you think your friends and family would describe you as an introvert or an extrovert?
Extrovert.
I would say you're an extrovert.
One of my favorite times during the week is to come to the networking group.
It's a good time. I will 100% agree with you, bud. Yeah, sometimes we've had people on here, they're like, well, I'm partly this or partly that. You didn't even equivocate at all. You're like, extrovert.
So when I work the entire week and at the end of the day I just lay down in the bed and I fall asleep,
Yeah.
like yesterday,
Yeah.
I don't come out to actually I think it was 2 days ago, I was going to come out to the bourbon night and come get a massage finally.
Yeah.
I just fell asleep. I slept for 14 hours.
What do you mean get a massage?
Sarah was here doing...
No, that's this coming Saturday.
I'm very excited now.
Yes. Yeah, you did not miss anything. 8. God, we are...
A buck?
See,
We are
you spoke it.
This pot is going to be huge.
So, yeah, where you get your energy from, right? There's
Yeah.
like extrovert tendency introverts who like being by themselves, but they feel good around other people.
Yeah, okay, sure.
There's people that just want to read a book, and that's how they get their energy back.
Yeah.
I'd say Alejandra, my wife, she's an introvert
Okay.
with extrovert tendencies.
Sure.
I'm an extrovert,
With extrovert tendencies.
just period. I just get energy being around people.
Yes, I agree with you.
Like I'm literally falling asleep when I'm by myself at home.
Yes. 8 again. Holy cow, this pot's humongous. What would you say the best compliment you've ever gotten? Or maybe you heard through the grapevine from someone that described, I dealt with this Cree feller, and he was this and this and this, and I was blown away by the experience I had.
That's hard to say because, I mean, probably my best compliment is whenever people stay in our properties and they're just like, wow.
Okay.
Like we had a family that came down from New York. This is our first property when we set it up. We rented it. We were running it for about 3 months. We had a doctor that stayed there for, actually it was like 4 months. She was there the whole time.
Okay.
And then when she moved out, we had a family move in for a month. They stayed there for 11 months. They had their baby and brought her back home. And they were renting the property the whole time, and they just said, wow, this has just been so much of a resource, so valuable to us.
Sure.
They were able to make an offer. They made 4 offers. They finally got their offer accepted. This is right in 2020, middle of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
They got their offer accepted. They were able to buy a house. So they were able to come down from New York, transition, sell their condo up there, have a baby, start their family in our house, and then move on and find their forever home.
Yeah.
However long that is for.
Yes, exactly. Nowadays, 3 to 5 years.
And that to me, just like, when I think about that story at the time, I was like, oh yeah, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, wow, we provided someone a safe place. It was clean. It was within their budget. They had one income. She was working at Chase. He was in transition.
Okay.
And we helped somebody start their life.
Yeah.
Like that to me is a compliment.
Yeah, oh, absolutely it is. You changed the course for someone's life.
Yeah, and they were able to make the transition without stress.
Yes. Well, that's usually it. Yes.
We had 2 people have babies in our house. In the hospital and bring them.
Really? That's really neat.
Not in the house.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. I have to remember that it's not It's not a marketing headline. Like I'm trying to just like.
We allow babies to be born here.
Yeah, exactly.
7, man. 50 cents.
The heat is on.
If you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be? You know, we're all hanging out at your funeral or your pre-death party. We've talked about that here on the podcast.
Mm.
You know, we're all hanging out. We're at Cree. You know, you're going to die in a couple weeks. What would you want to be remembered by? What would you want to be remembered for?
I'd say just being a good person, like being a.
Now, what do you classify as being a good in this respect? Like, there's a lot of ways that, you know.
Yeah. So our core values are honesty, integrity, doing the right thing,
Sure.
even if it costs more,
Sure.
and just doing right by the client.
Okay.
That doesn't mean just give them a refund whenever they want. That means doing the right thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like for example, we have a house that we're managing in Vermont, and there was a natural disaster, and one of the guests said, "Hey, we want to refund the stay." I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but you know it's past the refund timeline. So I go back and I just start to educate them on, hey, do you know that your credit card has trip cancellation insurance? So that means that if your stay is interrupted for any reason, including inclement weather, which the President of the United States declared this a natural disaster zone,
Yeah, yeah.
you are protected. Telling them that, or offering them the ability to have trip cancellation insurance before they book their stay.
Yeah, yeah.
If you book any reservation anywhere, do it with a credit card.
Okay. Because that's that all credit cards have trip cancellation?
Not all of them.
Okay, but most of them.
The Amex card that I carry,
Okay.
that covers up to $50,000 of damages or theft due to rental.
Oh, wow.
So if I rent a car,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm protected.
Okay, yeah.
I tell the host that. When I book their car, I say, hey, by the way, I'm booking with my Amex. That covers up to $50,000. If something happens to your car, I'm covered, so we'll file it on my insurance.
Yeah, you don't have to get that supplemental insurance that they always try to...
It charges the host more money, and it also costs you more money.
Okay.
And it's an upsell for the company.
Sure.
So
All right.
I always give people options, but if they don't want to go to the right channels, I just tell them, hey, I'm sorry, unfortunately we can't refund you. What we can do is we can offer you a future stay.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
All
that's
right.
doing right by the customer.
Yes, absolutely.
And I have to keep in mind, I have to do right by the owner and my people,
Yes.
my team. If you just go straight to a refund, you're actually taking money away from your team members.
Oh, yeah, you want to... Yes. Strategic
That's a 6.
negotiation. No, that was a 5.
Oh,
Don't get so excited over there. I put the 5 over
you
there.
tossed it?
I did.
That's a 7.
That's a great roll!
I don't have any
Rexo! Ooh, someone took it. Look at
I
that.
don't have any more 50 centers, so I'm going to have to
You
change
don't?
that
You have to
pot.
change out. Look at that. I'm going to just say it nonstop.
For the record, that was 100 for 250s.
here.
So yeah, it's keeping in mind all the players in the game.
You're owed that one.
Right, as a small business owner, you have to keep in mind that it's not just about your customer. It's also about your, like for us, cleaners,
Yeah, yeah.
for our families, for
Oh, yes.
for us as well, and then also too putting into place checks and balances so that you can make sure that you're protected, the client's protected, and your people are protected.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah. Kind of, I mean, not that I want to go into this, but the whole Bud Light controversy.
Ugh.
That now, you know, the...
Sounds like drama.
What is, and I'm not a drama person, but the argument now you're hearing from the higher ups is that, you know, don't hold me accountable. Don't hold my employees accountable. Like, well, maybe you should have thought about that when you thought about how you market your product. Anyway, and how it would affect people.
You know,
the whole
problem,
point is
the problem with that was you're taking the 90% of people that pay you for your brand,
yes.
and you're just throwing them away. And you're like, let's take the 1/2 of people that might try our brand,
Yes.
and let's market to them.
It was a horrible marketing strategy. And
It was
I know
a
you're
bad
I know you're
business strategy.
Yes, it was.
So
You know-
basically,
you know-
they rolled the
Ah,
dice.
no, she's, wherever you fall on it, whatever, but it was just a bad it was a
Here's the
horrible
thing.
marketing strategy.
If they had just simply said one of our core values is inclusion and diversity,
Sure.
it would have had the same effect.
It would yes.
And then make policies internally
Yes.
for let's make sure we're honoring that.
Yes.
Not let's focus on marketing to a very, very, very small
Yeah.
subset who will probably never drink our stuff anyways.
Exactly. It was a yes.
Like,
Which is what's so perplexing about the whole thing is that it's like you've been so successful for so long, and then, well, whatever. I didn't want to. I'm just thinking that now that's their argument. It's like, don't penalize the business.
Now you're worried about your employees.
Now you're worried about your employees. You should have.
It's another PR stunt.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
It's
not authentic.
disingenuous.
It's not authentic.
Exactly. So, well, Kree, I feel like we've got to know you quite a bit. Probably not as much. I would hope people, after watching this, would be like, this is a guy I'd like to get to know further. I'd like to do business with him. I will definitely. We're not done. We're not done. We
Spin
just.
the dice.
I'm going to. I just feel like we've got to know you enough as a person. Now I'd like to get to know your business and how you, maybe your theories on business, your philosophy, what your business is, and so on and so forth. And so that's kind of where we're going to go now. So
Cool.
So let's pause and finish that.
let's let's roll the dice. 9 winner.
Tase him.
Yes, stop it.
What do you do with
Yeah,
He just rolled the dice.
That's right. Just because I won, I'm going to say it. I rolled the dice and I won, which means Kree is going to pay me a check to give to
That's
Children's
the first time
Advocacy.
anybody's won.
This is the first time anyone's won.
It's the first time anybody has
I consider
to
that
take
a win.
penalty
That
shot
was
on
awesome.
their
This
own.
is the first time. Kree, you were here for a first time here.
Nice.
This is awesome, and it was an actual horse race. And my leg is really tingling.
I upped it to 4 because you
Can we
did
just
that
keep
whole
that on? So what do I owe you?
We'll just do. Well, yeah, you want to count it off?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, or whatever these are.
That's another. Let's just say 15. So 65,
50 cents?
25, and 75. So that's $2.
$2.
So $15.
Okay.
So $65 to. I know you probably You probably don't write checks at all.
I have checks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you would just make a check out to Children's Advocacy Center of Central Texas.
Cool.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get into your business side now. So what you just watched is only a portion of the interview. To keep watching, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell to stay up to date and continue watching the videos in this segment. Peace.